Hello everybody, my name is Connor and I am here with another green yellow law video. Today we are playing into the brand new red starter deck, and the starter deck is so aggressive. I think red got a huge buff with this starter deck, and yeah, we're gonna go ahead and talk about it. But before we get too deep into the game, I do want to ask you guys to go ahead and subscribe. We are doing a giveaway at 1K subscribers, where 2 people will receive a playmat from 1000noble.com, at least the digital file, hopefully full playmats. But anyway, my opponent is going to go ahead and search out the Rush Zoro and with the 1-drop Nami, with 1 Dawn and past turn. And our hand is looking a little rough. I think that I like counter when playing against this deck, and 2 7-drop laws are nice, but a little lacking on counter if you ask me, because as I mentioned, this red deck is so aggressive. Definitely trying to figure out a good way to handle it on this deck, on this law deck here. I think that law might struggle with like full out aggression, and that is what this red deck has. So he's gonna go ahead and drop the Nami from the starter deck, allowing him to give a 2 rested Dawn to his leader. And leader ability, I believe, reads Dawn times 1. Go ahead and, is it 2 rested Dawn? I think so. But we are gonna take this 7k hit, getting the bounce law blocker, which is pretty good, but not exactly what I want right here. And with the hand I have, it is kind of tough to figure out what I want to play. I am thinking about playing the X-Drake down. Yep, I'm going to go ahead and play X-Drake. My life is less than my opponent's, so I will be able to rest this Nami. And we're going to go ahead and swing Carmel into that Nami. That Nami has been kind of a pain in my butt ever since I started playing against this starter deck. So I did want to get rid of that, and I thought that X-Drake was a decent way to do that. But he is going to end up taking this life, and getting the trigger there is going to absolutely ruin my plan. I was set up to have the 5 cost, but that trigger KOing my X-Drake is going to be unfortunate. Of course, X-Drake, losing X-Drake, that is a 2k counter. That is not what I want, not what I want to see at all. My opponent is going to drop the new 4 cost Zoro. He gains a rush when he has 2 Dawn, and of course with that leader ability, giving him 2 rested Dawn makes him pretty fast. So we are going to end up taking that 7 hit, dropping to 2 life already, countering out with Mihawk. And the 1 into Carmel, I'm not gonna lie, I am tempted to counter out, but I just don't think I can. I would really like to be able to bounce Carmel back and continue to cycle that card with law ability, but just not in a really good spot to do so. So we are gonna be at 6 Dawn here, if I counted correctly. So we could play a 5 cost. I think we're gonna play that 5 cost Jewelry Bonnie. Not really having the opportunity to fix our life, or plant something in our life, as well as meet the requirements for the law ability. So I'm thinking about dropping Capone, but I think realistically, if we get Bonnie on the field, we will have met that 5 cost. And as much as I love freezing the Dawn, I don't think I can. So I am going to go ahead and swing 6 into life. Going to go ahead, take that, and we are going to go ahead, tap 5, and freeze that Zoro. I like freezing Dawn, as I mentioned, but I feel like I really needed Zoro to not swing at me for 1 turn. I know that the deck that he is playing has a lot of, rush cards, aggression. It also has a lot of ways to get through blockers, so this is something I'm trying to keep in mind while we're playing, because I would like to block her up, but I know like he runs Diablo Jambe, as well as I think there's a couple other cards that make his Straw Hat characters unblockable, if I remember correctly. But he's going to go ahead and drop, I think that is Brook, honestly. It is the Brook. He's going to go ahead and drop Brook, which I think gives Rested Dawn when he swings, something along those lines. Not one I've seen much from my buddy here. So he's going to end up attaching a ton of Dawn onto Nami, seeing as besides leader, Nami's the only one that can swing. But he is going to go ahead and swing, making 5. We're going to give him that Jewelry Bonnie there because we need to stay alive at this point. I am feeling like it is rough out here. And then the 6 from leader, kind of wasn't expecting a 6. I thought more Dawn was going to come up, so I'm trying to decide, do I give up that Capone or take? And I am going to take. I don't know how I feel about that one. And we're going to draw into an extra egg. So feeling a little more comfortable there with the 2, with getting another 2K. And one thing I do like about this Law deck is I feel like I usually have a lot of counters, and that is just so refreshing. So we are going to go ahead and play down Law, giving a Rested Dawn to our leader because he is Supernova type. And we are going to go ahead and put a 5 cost Supernova, geez Louise, to our life, healing a little bit there. And yeah, so that honestly, that Law is so good. I was thinking potentially about running like 2 aces just to help with the heal and have a bigger body, but I don't know. I don't feel like this deck really needs the aces. In situations like these, yeah, but I feel like that's pretty situational. So we are going to swing that 6 into Zoro, trying to get him off the board. And he is going to die, but unfortunately on KO, he gets to play another character with a 6,000 power. And he ends up dropping the new Rush Luffy. Really unfortunate there for me. But, I mean, I'm just trying to... I'm in that dance of, do I try and clear his board, or do I just swing at his face? He clearly swings at my face better than I swing at his face. So I guess there is an argument that I should just be trying to go for, his life. But I know you guys can't see it. My camera angles aren't the greatest. But he has, it's right there. He has a decent amount of cards in hand. So, a little bit of me trying to drain some cards out of his hands, as well as trying to live. And I think I've beaten this starter deck about once on my green yellow Law, and we are going to play this on Buggy. I will be showing you guys that match a little later. Buggy with the new chromos, dude. Very excited about that. But he's going to tap 3, play down that Rush Zoro, swing into Bonnie with Luffy. I think that's an 8k swing, if I remember correctly. That is a 6k Luffy leader. Gonna give a Rested Dawn to Zoro, and we gotta let Bonnie go, unfortunately. As much as I would love to keep Bonnie on field, swinging with Brook, it looks like, or attaching 2 Rested Dawn to Brook. I guess you could argue that I should have put the Restand Law out to get 2 swings in with Bonnie last turn, but I think I'm definitely in a bit of a skittish mode here. He's got a big board. There's so many ways to move Rested Dawn around. I'm gonna go ahead and swing. I think that is 5 at me. I'm gonna give him a 2k there, and a 6. I think I have to give him another 2k. Yeah, gonna give him one more 2k there. Kind of unfortunate. Restand Law now doesn't really... Oh man, if Restand Law could restand 7-drop Law, it'd be crazy. But we are going to end up taking the 6 from lead. We're just running out of counter. And there's so much Rested Dawn movement that he can just swing with that 1k body. It is tough out here. So we're going to give him the Supernova and Supernova Restand Law. There we go. And pass turn, excuse me. And at 10 Dawn, we do have an interesting option. And I think we are probably going to do... It's a little tough because I clearly don't have much to bounce to my hand, and I definitely want to use Law ability here. And one thing I realized relatively recently is I could bounce the Healing Law to my hand with Law ability. And while it doesn't feel great to bounce that Healing Law to hand, it is another way to get, if you're not drawing into your laws, it is a way to not only protect that 7k or 7 cost 9k body, but continually get to heal. I think at this point in the game, my hand size is a little rough, so we're going to go ahead, play down our Law. We're going to go ahead and play Bounce Law, putting that in our life, going up to 2, and trying to figure out the best way to do this, thinking about just dropping Capone, maybe even... Yeah, so I'm going to drop Capone, look at the Law, yep, going to put it back. I think I have to put it back face up, and I think I will remedy that in a second here. Yep, there I am reading. Very nice. Good job reading. Yep. Law comes down face up. And part of the reason that is I want to be able to bounce Law here. So we are going to go ahead. There's a lot of bouncing that's going to happen this turn. So I'm going to go ahead and swing my Law, the 9 into that Luffy, just trying to remove that threat, remove that giant body. Of course, he could have another one in hand, but we are going to go ahead bounce with the Law ability. We're going to bounce Capone back to our hand. Law Blocker is going to bounce the 7 cost Law to our hand. Playing down Jewelry Bonnie. Jewelry Bonnie is going to check our top life. I'm going to put Standing Law there. And we'll swing 6. Granted, I think this is a mistake here. I should have swung more, because now I have 2 Rested Dawn, so, or 2 Standing Dawn, and I have no events in my deck, except for Straw Sword. But yeah, a little bit of a misplay potentially there. I don't think 2 Dawn really made the difference, but we're in a kind of a tough spot. We have 3k counter in hand, we have 1 life, 2 blockers, and I know he plays plenty to get through my blockers, so I don't want to not use my blockers. So he's going to go ahead, give 2 Rested Dawn to his Zoro to gain a rush. I'm just going to go ahead and block with the Bonnie there, and potentially, I'm hoping that we can live 1 more turn and potentially, I don't think we can come back and win, but hopefully get a little more cards in hand, get a little bit of a better hand going, but it really depends on if we live. So he's going to go ahead and swing 5, and I'm going to block with the Law, just because I don't know how I feel about that. He doesn't have any Rested Dawn, so in theory, I guess I could have just taken, or he doesn't have any Standing Dawn, excuse me. He's got plenty of Rested Dawn. And he's going to swing into Law, and that kind of ruins my day. And we finally end up seeing Cavendish, which is, don't get me wrong, pretty nice to see Cavendish. Wish I saw Cavendish a little bit earlier. I could have done, I think, a little more with Cavendish. But we're going to see what we can do. And yeah, definitely playing on the back foot here is really kind of tricky. We're going to go ahead and play Law down. I'm reading him again just to make sure I read correctly. And yeah, we're going to put Cavendish on top, healing, going back to 2 life. And my dumbass puts my card down face up, and I'm too busy thinking. I don't think it ultimately mattered. But I'm in a rough spot. I'll go 6 into that Rush Zoro. I'm going to try and leave 3 up to potentially play Bonnie, but I think I kind of goofed this. We'll go ahead. We'll swing 9 into the Luffy. Once again, just trying to control the board and, yeah. So I'm going to go ahead and Law ability. Playing down the Cavendish, popping Law back to my hand, which at this moment doesn't feel great. I'm reading my leader ability to make sure, yeah, okay, I can pop this 7-drop Law back to my hand. It's really my only option, and if we can just keep sustaining somehow. But because of Cavendish restanding Dawn, I should have attached extra Dawn I had 3 Dawn standing. I could have done a bit of a larger swing. Instead of 6, probably gotten 7 to 8, and been okay. But you know, a little misplay. I think this is the first deck I've played that uses Cavendish. In fact, I had to buy all my Cavendishes. And yeah, we don't have any counter in hand. We have 1 blocker. And I kind of know at this point that it'll take a miracle to come out of this alive. So 7k, we are going to just go ahead and block. And I mean, especially because he knows what my last life is, I don't think he can mismath this. So yeah, the 7 or the 8 swing, and I'm like, brother, you got it. I got 1k in hand. So yeah, definitely a tough match up for Law. I don't think I saw a lot of what I needed or what I wanted to see. I think that this deck can beat the red starter deck if I see certain things, but I don't think I saw the things that I needed. I think X-Drake is pretty good. Cavendish is pretty good, just to kind of match the aggression that he has, as well as yeah, not seeing any 1-drop starter or searchers, kind of rough. But yeah, just kind of a rough game, but I did want to talk about it and honestly just kind of showcase off that new starter deck because it is pretty cool. Unfortunately, it's really expensive already, but yeah, it comes with sleeves and an extra like packs of alt cards, I guess. So understandably expensive, but yeah, I think that red starter deck is a menace, and I think that it's gonna give a lot of red leaders just a lot of extra support. So definitely gonna rebuild Sanji here, especially because I think Black with the bans, I think that Blackbeard is gonna be a bit of a menace, and I think that Sanji can handle Blackbeard pretty well. So that is gonna go ahead and do it for me though, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys liked this video, hit that like button down below. It helps me out more than you could ever know. Go ahead and subscribe if you are new, and I will see you guys in the next video. I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your day.